Thank you. Thank you, Craig. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Good to be back again. So Psalm 27 we're in, and we'll see where we go tonight with that. So I think everybody knows how we do this. I'll just skip through this and we'll read the psalm. And yeah, how's it landing for you? What are you seeing there? How you find yourself reacting to it? Just sort of trying to be conscious about that, I think, and let ourselves interact with it is one of the goals here. All right, I'll start off by reading it. We're going to look at two different versions tonight. So we're going to start off with the I think it's the NIV version. And then when we go through it the second time, we're going to switch it up. And hopefully you'll enjoy that. So Psalm 27 of David. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then I will be confident. One thing I ask from the Lord, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze on the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple. For in the day of trouble, he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his sacred tent and set me high upon a rock. Then my head will be exalted above the enemies who surround me. At his sacred tent, I will sacrifice with shouts of joy. I will sing and make music to the Lord. Hear my voice when I call, Lord. Be merciful to me and answer me. My heart says of you, seek his face. Your face, Lord, I will seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my helper. Do not reject me or forsake me, God my Saviour. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Teach me your way, Lord. Lead me in a straight path because of my oppressors. Do not turn me over to the desire of my foes, for false witnesses rise up against me, spouting malicious accusations. I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. Amen. That's our psalm.
Yeah, that's really good.
For tonight. So,
wow.
Yeah, what did we like? What did you like, Charlene?
Oh, really good. I like you're slow, like I mean very quick. No, slow. I like.
Okay.
Yes, I like that, like slow down and look
So
about
more time to
and
think about it.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Often the psalm and like is really good. Like every day is wonder about the stars and the universe and like wow, and the soul is like the I don't know, like is the man is David, or I don't know, but it's like pour in the the heart in your heart is a pouring in my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
Awesome. Mm.
Yeah.
And we should slow down, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I really,
Yeah.
really good. Actually,
Excellent.
thank you very much, actually.
Excellent. I think that helps all of us. Thanks, Charlene.
Yeah.
That's great. So, what stood out as we read that together, went through that together? Was it a word or a picture?
Yep.
Did you notice any kind of structure to it or pattern or anything like that? Not always there, but sometimes there's something there. What was the prevailing emotion? Was there of the psalmist, or how did it make you feel? I guess, where did your mind go? Where did your heart go? So the prompts are on the right, little sort of bits out of the psalm. We'll just open. We can just sit here for a little while and chat about it.
Well, I've got the two main points or emotions was confidence.
Yes.
Absolute, total confidence.
Quite stunning confidence, isn't
it?
Yeah.
And then asking for protection. I found it interesting that he would say, "Do not reject me." It's almost contrary to everything else he's saying.
It kind of doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Seems to have an awful lot of enemies, doesn't he? Every week.
Every psalm there's an enemy. Yeah.
Unless they're all referring to the same ones, but
maybe they're just maybe he's part of maybe it's a prep before they go and play football every weekend. I don't know.
It's a good word for me. Wait for the Lord.
We had that last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
And there it is again. Yeah. All right. Terrific.
Where's that bit about his parents forsaking?
That's interesting.
Where's that?
Verse 10.
I can't see it.
What do we think about that?
Well, he doesn't say they did forsake him.
That's right.
It's even if they do.
So why? And maybe we can talk about this more when we get to it. But yeah, just think about of the people who you least expect to forsake you. I think that's the reason. We'll talk about it when we get there.
It depends on your translation, because the New American says, "My father and mother have forsaken me."
Right.
Oh. Well,
right.
But didn't he look after them? Didn't he take them to another country or king and ask them to look after them?
There could be a poetic reason.
Yeah.
It's there could be a poetic reason. So but that does stand out. There's no question about that. Yeah.
Verse 13's a bit different too in the New American. It says, "I would have despaired unless I had believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord." It's got that, instead of "I'm confident of this, that I will see," I would have despaired unless I had believed that I would see the goodness.
Okay. 13.
Yeah.
Just looking at that now. Keep on chatting.
Don't know how it reads in the Hebrew, but
unless, there's kind of an unless at the beginning.
The New English translation says, "Where would I be if I did not believe I would experience the Lord's favour in the land of the living?"
He's sort of making a statement and then answering it too, like, "Do not reject me."
Yeah.
Then he says, "The Lord will receive me." do not turn me over to the desire of my foes. I remain confident.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Confidence.
So maybe, yeah, we'll talk about that as well. These are great observations, by the way. I feel like we've come quite a long way in this. And so what's happening is that everybody's starting to pick up on, well, that sounds a bit odd. Oh, look at that. Oh, really?
Mm.
And I think that's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And because we are learning how to, how to engage with the poetic form and the way of expression. So, which a little bit odd to our ears, and I think sometimes we just, but it's really good, I think, to be noticing those things. All right, well, let's go through it a little bit by little bit.
Okay.
Firstly, the structure, and this is what you said, Rhonda. Yeah, it's quite clear, isn't it? There's two parts to this.
Yeah.
The first part is full of confidence.
Confidence.
Yeah. And he's talking about the Lord is. He's talking in the third person. The Lord is, and I'm going to be unafraid. I'm protected. I'll be protected. I'm joyful. So that's the atmosphere of that first 6 verses, and then from 7 till 12, it really switches. It becomes much more pleading, and it becomes personal. So he's now talking like to God face to face in the first person instead, and seems like he's feeling danger, or he's feeling threatened, or something like that. So that's quite different. And then there's some verses at the end. We've called that a coda. I remain confident, be strong, and wait for the Lord. One commentary I read is like, this is certainly 2 different authors, with 2 separate psalms that they've been put together. That might be possible, but I don't know if it's certain. But there's certainly 2 quite distinct approaches within that one psalm. That's for sure. I think that's easy to notice, actually, when you have a good look at it. All right. Okay. So now what I thought I'd do this time, because I always want to do something a little bit different, is I've got the verse here from the Message, and I don't know if if people have read much of the Message before, have you, or familiar with it?
Yep.
So, it's been out for, I don't know, 20 or so years now, I suppose, but it's completely fresh. It's it's a paraphrase. It's not trying to be, accurate to the nth degree, but what it is trying to do is to capture the idea in a kind of a fresh way.
Yep.
And I think it just shines a bit of a different light on it. So that's why I decided to use it. And we might even compare with the NIV or New American or New English, whatever we have as well. So here it is: light, space, zest. That is God. So with him on my side, I'm fearless, afraid of no one and nothing. When vandal hordes ride down ready to eat me alive, those bullies and toughs fall flat on their faces. When besieged, I'm calm as a baby. When all hell breaks loose, I'm collected and cool. So he's certainly got a poetic feel to it. It's so what do we notice here? What do you think of that Message paraphrase? So the first verse that we read before was, the Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid?
Yeah.
Summed up, light, space, zest, that's God.
Yeah, that's good.
So with him in my side, I'm fearless, afraid of no one and nothing. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it explains it well. I like it.
Mm.
But for poetry, I think it's good. You know, trying to make doctrine, I wouldn't be so keen.
You,
Ah,
yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to be. It's not going to be, and it's a paraphrase. So yeah,
yep.
that's right. That's exactly right. But what it does do, I think, is, we've read "The Lord is my light and salvation; whom shall I fear?" a few times now, right?
Yep.
Sort of thing. Lord is my stronghold; whom shall I be afraid? Yep. Good. But then I said, light, space, sex. That's God. Wow. That's kind of like it. Kind of punches through a bit more. I think. Any other thoughts?
What's the in verse 2, and I didn't notice that before, ready to eat me alive.
Yeah, I think the word.
That-
What was the word? It was.
Is that to do with when he fought Goliath?
I don't think it even has to be a specific.
Right.
I don't think it even has to be a specific. What's the word
Event.
for? Thing that happened.
Relating to anything.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
he really is. It's a poetic description of a hard time.
Yeah.
When evildoers came against me to devour my flesh, so that's devour my flesh. This take and eat me alive. That's how he's treated.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's how bad these guys are. They're going to eat. They're going to be cannibalistic, right? So that's.
But didn't Goliath say something like, "Come over here, and I'll get the birds and the beasts to eat your flesh"?
Oh, he
Wow.
did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But probably he's going to hack him up and just leave him, dead on the battlefield, and the vultures come or something. But okay, fair enough. So,
Bullies and toughs. What's the fall flat on their faces?
stumbled and fell. My foes and my enemies stumbled and fell.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's it's certainly parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly parallel.
It's good.
Now let's reflect on this a little bit. Verse 3 says, "When besieged, I'm calm as a baby,
Yeah.
collected and cool." So the reflection I'm asking about here is, am I more familiar with anxiety and fear, or being cool and collected? Not in an arrogant way, but in a sort of a humble, confident way.
Oh.
I'm just reflecting on that. What do I? What's the most for me? And then if I'm more familiar with sort of anxiety and fear, what would it take to get from there to confidence?
To be to press into God and to read His Word, and to step out and see when you feel He's telling you to do so, and you step out, and it all works. You get confidence in God. I guess it's a bit like it's a trial and error sort of thing.
I like what you said there about stepping out, though.
Yeah.
I think I know Craig and I have talked quite a lot about this. It's as we walk it.
Yeah.
That's really big part of faith, isn't it? It's just how we walk out day by day. But it's a wonderful image, isn't it? This collected, cool, just confident, not arrogant, but just this wonderful confidence. Yeah, any other thoughts there?
I thought it was quite funny when he said, "When besieged, I'm calm as a baby." You know, those scholars who wrote the Message obviously haven't had babies.
Haven't had kids
Yeah.
yet.
Yes. That image.
Yeah.
Got colic.
Mm.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
no, not calm at all when they're besieged. But I was thinking, in practice, it's a bit like getting your eyes off your troubles and putting them on God instead.
Mm.
Anxiety often comes from, you know, worrying at a problem.
Yeah.
Whereas calm comes from just, you know, deciding to let it be and talk to God about it and wait.
Mm. Yeah.
Wait.
Mm.
That you know what Jesus says, who by worry can add an hour to their life.
Yeah.
I tell myself that quite often. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it certainly redirects my attention.
Mm. Mm. Awesome. Thanks, Nerida. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
It takes obedience. I'm just thinking what
Mhm.
you mentioned before about stepping out and that, and the waiting. That's all being completely dependent on what God says.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being obedient to what He says rather than trying to, like I do.
Mm.
This is taking too long. Let's get cracking.
Mm.
And it's getting ahead of God.
Maybe that's where that waiting comes in.
Recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wait. Is that often a phrase? Wait.
Mm.
Wait for the Lord.
Yeah.
Often here, but why? Why do that? Why? Often different psalm, but why wait? What kind of wait?
Great question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great question.
Mm.
So, yeah. So what do we think it means by waiting in this way? It's not like, you know,
No.
I'm standing at the bus stop waiting for the bus. It's, it's, what is it? It's more
Like settling. But, yeah.
and trusting that God will do it in His time. Not rushing ahead, I think, is definitely part of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's being content. Yeah. And wait for God to sort things out instead of taking things into our own hands sometimes.
Continuing to spend time with Him until He says, now it's time.
Mm. And we all know, don't we, that, you know, with people who've been close to us, you know, family members, you know, friends, and sometimes people are working through things, right? And we learn we just have to be patient with them. We can't expect people to change overnight sometimes. And we just need to be patient, you know, just, they'll, you know, keep on encouraging them, keep on working with them, whatever. But yeah, it takes time. It takes time for people to change. And maybe that's part of it. The waiting is to give us time to grow and change. Maybe that's what it's.
I think that's true, Andrew. I think that we have to remember too that God has His own journey planned for those people. And we just have to trust and just hand it all over to Him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I always think of Jesus as being Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And so is the psalmist calling God Lord?
So you say the psalmist is calling God
Lord.
Oh, so when they use the word Lord, you're thinking of they're meaning Jesus at that point? Is that what you're saying?
Um, maybe I always think of Jesus as being Lord,
Yep.
and then is he calling God Lord?
Oh, I see. Certainly in the Old Testament, when we see the Lord, what that usually is, what that usually is the four-letter name of God, which they won't pronounce. They don't. So that usually gets translated as Adonai, which means Lord.
Mm.
And that's why Jesus also gets that title in the New Testament. But usually, if you look at where it says the Lord and what it is in Hebrew, it's the Yahweh or the Jehovah. It's those actual letters, and that's how it's usually translated.
Mm.
But the sense is the same. It's the master. The Lord for sure, and certainly in the New Testament, Jesus is definitely called the Lord quite a bit.
Mm.
All right. Well, let's press
Sorry,
on.
Andrew. Sorry, I just wanted to just had a thought come to me. Just on that, the reflect. Am I more familiar with anxiety and fear?
Yeah.
And it just sort of, I was looking over things this morning on that, and then I think it's something that, especially with fear, because we read to fear the Lord,
Mm.
obviously, but when we live in fear as well, that there's something, an anxiety is something deeper going on in our hearts.
Yeah.
And and I think I just sort of after doing a bit of research on and stuff like that, and but that anxiety and the fear with looking into it deeper is what is actually in our hearts. What is in the center of our hearts, and so even though the anxiety and the fear is a negative thing, but it has a purpose as well.
Because it points to something else. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so it does point to the actual what is in our heart. Say, so if someone has a fear of failure,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like that's what's in their heart. Mm.
So it might be an underlying belief.
That's right.
And if I fail, it means I'm nothing.
Yes.
That kind of thing. And so I'll do everything within my power, even if it means sabotage, to not fail.
Yes. Or look, or look like a failure. Yeah, that's
Or look
right.
like a failure because then I would be nothing and I can't have that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good to reflect, isn't it, on those things. What's the core of this fear? What's my belief actually? I think I really, I do believe fears are so connected with beliefs that we have about ourselves, which and quite often may not be true. And
That's right. Yeah. And I think the consequences of those is that when you have that anxiety or that fear, when it's in you, I don't know. I'm believing that it's impossible to take refuge in God. That's what I've sort of come to.
so what have you got to do at that moment? Are you stuck there forever, or what can shift it?
What can shift that? I guess, overcoming that fear or not be controlled by it, I suppose, and
maybe replacing it.
replacing it. Yeah,
Replacing it with some truth. Replacing with it's part of what we're thinking, isn't it, deep down? I think
yes, yep.
And so we might have to change the way we think, actually, or realize that what we believe is not true, and then abandon, and then throw it away and get a different belief. And I think that's the way God works quite often.
For me, it often starts with a false god. Worry starts with a false god.
Right.
What if this should happen? What if I get ripped off financially? So my false god is security in finance.
Right.
And so my thinking, in order to abandon worry about that, is to say, to look at the truth squarely in the face. Finance is not my security.
Yeah.
Finance is not my God.
Yeah.
What is the worst that can happen? I'll be poorer. Is that a real tragedy? No, it's not. I have God. So I tell myself the truth about those concerns, and it just takes all power out of it then.
Yeah.
It just makes it silly to be worried about something that's, finances are not my God. Being liked is not my God. Being popular, being, successful, being all of those things, they're not my God. So the consequences of the worst of those worries coming true are not terribly important.
I was just thinking as well, if the finances is the God, and then you go to the letterbox and there's 3 or 4 bills in there, that's the vandal hordes riding down, ready to eat your life. Boom, away we go. All right. Okay, let's press on. That's been some great sharing from everybody.
It's a bit like the facts are, but the truth is. The facts are that I am having trouble financially. Facts are there are bills to pay. Yeah. But the truth is that God will stand with me in this, and I'll get through it.
Yeah. It's good to remember. Excellent. All right. Well, let's look at verse 4 and onwards. Still in the message. I'm asking God for one thing, only one thing, to live with him in his house my whole life long. I'll contemplate his beauty. I'll study at his feet. That's the only quiet, secure place in a noisy world, the perfect getaway, far from the buzz of traffic. God holds me head and shoulders above all who try to pull me down. I'm headed for his place to offer anthems that will raise the roof. Already I'm singing God's songs. I'm making music to God. So, yeah, the perfect getaway. The perfect getaway is where?
With God.
With God.
The temple.
The house of the Lord.
Yeah.
He wants to quit being king and go and hang out in the temple all day, every day.
Yeah. Actually, or metaphorically, I suppose, as well.
Yeah.
I just want that to be what my life is about. Yeah. Think about this picture where it says, to contemplate his beauty, study at his feet. That's the only quiet, secure place in a noisy world.
Yeah.
It's quite a wonderful picture, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah. And it's the idea I think just sort of brings home that sort of focusing our attention and being content to be there. And it's that connection that's of such great value. There's lots of clamoring going on outside, lots of noise, lots of traffic, all this stuff. But he's just saying, hey, just, if all I could do is just be in God's house all day, every day, that's the perfect refuge for me, is what he's saying. I love that picture. Does that seem desirable? And how could we experience this?
Does it seem what?
Desirable.
Oh, yes.
And how could we experience this?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have physical temples or even tabernacles.
About quiet times.
It's got to be intentional, hasn't it? It's got to be,
Yeah.
Time spent with God intentionally.
Yes.
And and I contemplate his beauty. Do we think about that? Study at his feet, we're probably pretty used to that idea, but to contemplate his beauty, that's a twist, right? Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
Making music to God is God alone.
So that's where he goes, isn't it? He says, I'm just singing at the top of my voice.
Yeah.
I'll be singing praises, making music to God. And, I will sing and make music to the Lord. I think that probably the closest thing in our culture is maybe it's whistling. When people are happy,
yeah.
Do we sing when we feel happy?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, I do too.
Good. Well, that's good, right? Is that, I guess there's a level of rejoicing there. What is this songs of praise in my life? Do we let ourselves go there? Asking myself that question. Or am I too serious? Or for me, if it's a song, I've got to make sure the 4-part harmony is working properly. So yeah, it's not. I actually think it's great that it's not serious. That this is about not being serious, isn't it? I mean, being intentional, but not, but being joyful. That's the point.
Yeah. And I can't stand still when if I'm singing, really happy and singing, or singing along with the music.
Yeah.
Or even singing in church, if it's I want to move, I want to dance,
Oh, I got to see that. So yeah, well, that's great. Yeah, because it is something involving the whole body, isn't it?
I saw a movie the other day. It's called The First Hymn.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of it?
I think I saw it mentioned.
It's really good.
Yeah, and you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was moved to tears.
Really? Okay.
What was it called, Lisa?
The First Hymn.
Okay.
They found fragments of a hymn in Egypt from 2,000 years ago. And they got some musicians on board and they finished off the hymn.
Right.
Okay.
Did you?
Amazing story.
Did you see that at your local cinema? I'm hoping it comes to Gunnedah, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I saw it at my local cinema. It was only on for a week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's good. Well, it's probably better than Cat Video Fest, which is what I saw on the weekend. That was fun. Yeah. Exuberance, right? Wow. That's this part of this incredible conference. So there's this contemplation, study, offering anthems that will raise the roof. I think there's some great pictures going together there. All right.
This reminds me of, in the beginning of Luke about the prophetess Anna that never left the temple.
Never left the temple. Yeah.
And she was praying and fasting and worshiping night and day. And yeah.
Can you imagine it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's true. It's there. She's named as well. And it's just a beautiful little picture there of her, isn't it? That's it. Well, here's something that Craig reminded me. I think we mentioned this before. The Tim Keller, many of you know.
Yep.
Are familiar with his writing. So he's written a book called My Rock, My Refuge, where he's basically going through the Psalms. And this is a quote. This is what he actually wrote about these first 6 verses. So just thought I'd share it. Interested in any reaction. The beauty of God. Is there certain music that gives you deep joy? Yeah. Is there a view or landscape that does the same? If someone says, what is the use of that? You answer that the musical landscape is not a means to some other end, but it's profoundly satisfying in itself.
Yeah.
David's supreme priority is to gaze on the beauty of the Lord. That's verse 4. Gazing is not a one-time glimpse, but a steady, sustained focus. It is not petitionary prayer, but praising, admiring, and enjoying God just for who he is. David finds God beautiful, not just useful for attaining goods. To sense God's beauty in the heart is to have such pleasure in him that you rest content.
Wow.
It's excellent.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, I've probably read that about 3 times in the last 24 hours, and that actually made sense to me that time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
So the beauty, there's something about that God does want to appreciate. And it takes that steady, sustained focus.
Yes.
And are our prayers like that, or are we just asking for things, heartfelt praise, admiration, and just enjoying God for who he is. Great. Amen. We'll look at another one after the second part. All right, moving on. Psalm 27, I think we're about verse 7 or 8 now. Listen, God, I'm calling at the top of my lungs. Be good to me, answer me. When my heart whispered, seek God, my whole being replied, I am seeking him. Don't hide from me now. You've always been right there for me. Don't turn your back on me now. Don't throw me out. Don't abandon me. You've always kept the door open. My father and mother walked out and left me, but God took me in. So, yeah, change of tone. Sort of rejection is the theme here. What's he doing? How do you make sense out of what's going on in this part? What's he saying?
Oh, it's a prayer of.
It's a plea.
It's a plea. Yep.
I think he's seeking.
He's seeking, did you say?
Yeah, he's seeking God. And so
I'm seeking, yeah.
Yeah, he has an expectation that he will find him, but he's urgently pursuing it. He's impatient.
But there's something else going on as well, isn't there? He's kind of like, is this going to work? Is God really going to?
Yes, It really does, as I said before, it sort of not undermines, but it's different to the first part where he's
Really is.
so confident and everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was feeling as, you know, you're reading it, don't turn your back on me. I'm thinking, why would God? Don't hide from me. Why would?
You know what? I was just thinking. I'm sure we've all had days
Where are you?
like verse 1 to 6, and we've all had days like verses 7 to 12.
True.
And maybe that's the point.
Mm.
We're always not firmly encamped one part of the psalm and not the other. Yeah,
But
I was interested.
It's totally different, though.
Yeah, well, might be part of being human. I don't know. I was intrigued by his internal conversation. It says, when my heart whispered, my whole being replied, I'm seeking him.
Yeah.
Do you see that? My heart whispered and my being replied. It feels like he's kind of, maybe he's wrestling a bit. He wants, or there's, he just, I don't know. It's too good to be true. I don't know. It's interesting. It's a kind of a wrestle, isn't there? That's going on for him. But what do you think at the end of the day? What's he really want? What's the main thing that he really wants?
Close relationship with God.
He wants that relationship. He wants to be.
He wants to experience.
He wants to be close with God. Yeah.
Intimacy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And how fundamental and primal is that? And in fact, even to use that line there, I think Rhonda, you mentioned it before about my father and my mother.
Yeah.
I
don't think they did forsake him.
I think it's like
that even if they did, I'm just checking on that now.
Yeah, it's a metaphor, isn't it? Like you think of the most unlikely people to forsake us would be our parents. And I think what he's saying, even if they forsake me, God will still take me in.
It's sort of like a worst case scenario.
Yeah. I think that's what he's doing there. Yeah. And I'm not. I don't think you're saying, well, my parents actually abandoned me, as such. But even if they did, God would take me in. He's always kept the door open. Maybe it's just wrestling with his fears. Don't throw me out, don't abandon me, but you've always kept the door open.
Yeah.
Which is it? So I think the idea of the wrestling is good. Sometimes we do have, if we're honest, I think we can have fears sometimes like this with God. But then
my Bible's got a cross reference to Isaiah 49, and the verse says, "Can a woman forget her nursing child and have no compassion on the son of her womb?" Yeah. And I guess the answer is no.
And that's the same kind of idea, rhetorical question. Exactly. I think that's exactly what the sort of thing that's going on here. Yeah. I've engraved you on the palms of my hand, says God. Yeah, so at the end of the day, the psalmist really wants that, but he's walking us through his own struggles. Can I really believe this? Yes, I can. But God, but yes. So it's like it's almost too good to be true. I don't know. but he's having this internal conversation. I think that's instructive, you know, because I think, for honest, sometimes we have those kinds of moments where is God really going to look after me here, you know? And then he brings himself back around because he remembers what God is like. And you've always kept the door open, sort of thing. But it's a very primal fear, isn't it, of being abandoned. He's playing on that, on that thing. All right. Point me down your highway, God. Direct me along a well-lighted street. Show my enemies whose side you're on. Don't throw me to the dogs. Those liars are out to get me, filling the air with their threats. So, yeah, again, there's two sort of possible routes. Yeah, teach me your way, O Lord, lead me in the straight path, is what it said in the NIV.
Yeah.
What sense do you get from point me down your highway?
Point me down your highway.
Just think of that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Direct me on your path.
Yeah. So who made the highway?
God.
Who's giving the direction?
God.
Who has to do the walking?
We do.
Right. Yep. So that's that idea of walking the path again. God gives the good direction, made the way. We have to walk it. And
I like that. Show my enemies whose side you're on.
yeah,
That's good.
Mm. In verse 12 in the NIV, it says, do not turn me over to the desire of my foes, for false witnesses rise up against me, spouting malicious accusations.
Yeah.
One translation I read had used the word deposition. So it's like a legal setting, a court. False witnesses, you know, he said this, he did this, and they're lying. And they're spouting malicious accusations. Don't turn me over to their desires. Yeah, and maybe that could even be another internal thing. Do we need to deal with false accusations internally sometimes? That might be external. These dogs might be external. Sometimes the liar out to get us can be ourselves.
Yeah.
And we need to be able to make a solid argument going down that well-lit way. Any other thoughts on that? Yeah. All right, so now the last couple of verses. I'm sure now I'll see God's goodness in the exuberant earth. Stay with God. Take heart. Don't quit. I'll say it again. Stay with God.
Yeah.
And that's where we had the waiting. Wait in the NIV, which said, I remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. So he's ended up in a good place, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm sure now. I remain confident of this. And maybe we could look back at that psalm and you can see there's this been internal wrestling that he's had to go through to get to this point. And that, you know, that can be instructive, I think, for us sometimes. Sometimes we do have to have those wrestling times, I think, with God. And then he's got a simple bottom line that he ends up with. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. Take heart, don't quit. Stay with God. Stay with God.
Takes faith and hope.
Yeah. But
I think from what I'm learning at the moment is that the strength comes in the waiting. When we wait, you've mentioned wrestled a couple of times, and I find that I've had to wrestle with a lot of things recently, and I just find that when I do that, I become not so much like to win, but there's an inner strength that develops, and not being not being focused on a result, more so, but realizing that a trust develops, and just by waiting, and it's just a instead of trying to sort of make things happen or go the way that I want it to go, but and just see that there's an incredible what is it? It's like a relief, I suppose, of waiting for God. Yeah,
I don't have to achieve a particular outcome.
That's right. Yeah, there's no pressure.
And who knows who I'll meet along the way? Who knows what will happen along that well-lit road? Yeah. Thanks, Craig. That's awesome. It's terrific. Anybody else got anything they want to say about that? All right. Well, let's. Here's what Tim Keller has to say about the second part: finding his beauty. David is having difficulties, but the beauty of God enables him to live in confident peace. Verses 1 and 6. If our hearts delight in God and his face, then we can contemplate losing earthly joys without fear. Even if our mother and father forsake us, we can face it. Verse 10. Why? If our greatest treasure, communion with the living God, is safe, of what can we be afraid? Yet we are afraid of so many things. So our fears can serve an important purpose. They show us where we really have located our heart's treasure. I think that's kind of what Nerida was talking about. Follow the pathway of the fear back into your heart to discover the things you love more than God, and then you can deal with them. So that's pretty practical, I think. Yeah.
That last sentence is a beauty.
Yep. Follow the pathway of the fear back into your heart to discover the things you love more than God. And then we can deal with that. Yeah.
Yep.
Any other comments on that before we move on?
Well, he says, even if our mother and father forsake us.
That's the way he's translated it as well. Yeah. And the idea being it's our greatest treasure.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so just a couple of intertextual links. Barry mentioned one already. Where was it, Barry? Isaiah
49.
49, yeah.
15, yeah.
I think that's you can see the fear of abandonment there near the bottom. That's one of the, I think it's probably one of the verses there, that Isaiah 49. So that, there's quite a few themes here which come up, all over the Bible, really. Light as salvation, fearlessness, longing for God's house. I mean, those two things, remember back not that long ago, Psalm 23. I dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. That's a fairly common one, isn't it? Seeking God's face, we talked about that. Fear of abandonment and waiting on the Lord. So these themes, strong spiritual themes. I think I like about this is that like there's 6 themes there that is just really is all about it's all about our hearts, isn't it? Dealing with our hearts, what we focus on, how we understand and relate to God. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's not dogma. You know what I mean? It's
yes.
it's the stuff of lived spirituality. Yeah.
Yep.
So I think that's what's quite compelling about all of those things there. One line from the psalm that resonated with you. Has anybody got anything that just really stood out? One line from the psalm. One line that resonated with you and why, I should have said.
I have to look back at the psalm.
Yeah, me too.
There's that oft repeated line, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I just, I hear that in songs. I read it so often in the Old Testament. It just fills me up. It makes me feel confident and happy and nurtured and safe and hopeful. All of those things sort of, immediately come to the fore when I respond to that, just that one line. And I know David says it a lot, but I can hear it a lot quite happily.
One that definitely resonated with me. It's something that I'm getting quite demoralised and deflated about. Something I've been wanting it to happen. So wait for the Lord.
Right.
Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord.
Yeah, wait.
I feel like I'm saying, God, I've been waiting for an awful long time. However, I have to be strong and take heart.
Do not reject me.
And I will see.
Do not hide your face.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Yeah. Continue.
Charlene, you said do not reject me.
Yeah, do not hide and do not reject. Do not turn me over. Desire. Do not, and wait for the Lord. That's that wait is the key, is the yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Awesome.
It's quite, sorry.
Go ahead.
Just going to say, it's waiting for your purpose to for the time for your purpose to begin, to be realised, to be like Jesus.
Yeah, true.
He waited for a fair while.
Yeah.
It's quite powerful, isn't it? Just to think, to stop and think, what's just one line, and then just to share it in this kind of setting.
Yep.
Yeah.
That kind of really, I think, brings it into boy, there's real power in these words.
Yeah.
You know, just to peel it all back. So what is resonating with me here? What does that point to? What can I share with others about that? I think that can be very powerful. So we'll do this. I'll ask this question again in future weeks, I think. So it's quite a good one. All right, so that's it. So any final thoughts? Anything else anybody wants to share as we come to a close? So any new insight from our discussion for you tonight? Maybe just learned something that you hadn't seen before. How do you find yourself responding, positively or negatively, even to the psalm? Do I recognize those internal conversations? Do I wrestle enough to finish the conversation strongly?
Yeah.
I'll just take a couple more minutes and just share any final thoughts. I think Craig will pop in about 2 or 3 minutes' time with a comment, I know.
I don't know. Have made questions.
Often my automatic reaction to worry and anxiety is to seek diversion in something else.
Right.
So I go for a walk, or I eat too much, or I those sorts of things. And
Go shopping too much.
no, I don't. I hate
Oh,
shopping.
Good. Oh, good.
I hate buying things. Yeah, but or I just seek comfort in the relationships with my family and things like that. Whereas in fact, it's almost like I'm avoiding God. I'm putting off going to him and saying, come on, God, I'm seeking your face, show me. And I think if I did that more often and demanded it of him, he would certainly fulfill his promise. And be there for me. But instead I seek diversion elsewhere.
Right. Do you feel you've got? Yeah. Well, it's good to recognize that, isn't it? And then, and we can remember from the psalm how we finished that conversation strongly.
Yeah.
Be strong and wait for the Lord. Yeah. Thanks, Nerida. Is Jem there?
No, Jim did make it. He sends his apologies.
That's all right. I just thought he might have been sitting quietly.
No.
Hi, Jim. Yeah. Anybody else?
I think for me, one thing that sort of, came to the surface was about, God's beauty and God's faithfulness as well.
Yeah.
God is always faithful, and that that never changes. And even in like that, the example that he gave when his father, that his father and mother forsake me, and I did do a search on that. That doesn't actually say anywhere in the Bible that they did forsake him. In fact, Jesse packed a bag for him when he went into battle, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But just the again, just a figure of speech, so to speak, and but he knows, David just knows that the Lord, in worst case scenarios, the Lord will receive him, So I think that's rather to know that. I think sometimes when fear or anxiety builds in us, we don't see that, or we can't see it, basically,
So much to take away from the psalm, isn't there? There's just when I first read it, I always find this with these Psalms. What are we going to do with that? You know, but just spending time with the Psalm and talking about it and just seeing I think the journey sometimes I think that's going on. And so there's so much practical point, and then some beautiful things pop out. You know, the beauty of the Lord, raising ourselves in song. God makes the highway, points us in the right direction, and we have to walk on it. Those kinds of things. There's just so many little nuggets of pure gold, I think, in all of these Psalms. So thanks everybody for all your contributions tonight, and I hope that's been a blessing for you. You've got something out of that. And we'll be back again next week with Psalm 32, big jump, 5 Psalms away.
32.
So I think this is one of my favorite Psalms. So
Mm-hmm.
I've used this in many a dark moment, I think. Anyway,
All right.
I'll leave it there and pass it back to Craig. Cheers.